Man, back here on Radio Row, Super Bowl 57, the sports arena. We are in the house. I'm Michael Karras. Dave DesRochers joining me. Man, thanks so much for taking the time. Obviously, Super Bowl time, it's crazy. You see a bunch of your old compadres here,
yes.
and new ones. But
yeah.
Your overall thought of how the event so far is going in Phoenix here?
Well, it's been fantastic. It's been nonstop. So I did my first Super Bowl was actually last year out in LA because I'm an Orange County guy.
Nice.
And I thought I was busy that week. This has been nuts. It's because, as you know, the more involved you get and the more people you get to know, the more things you're invited to. And my now fiance, who I asked to marry me at an event, maybe we could talk about that because it was pretty cool. It made this even better, right? It's just been nonstop. We start about 9 in the morning and end about midnight.
Well, I'm going to say congratulations, obviously, on that. But
yes.
You better not plan the wedding during a Super Bowl weekend. I'm just trying to help you out. Help me help you.
I appreciate the help. So everyone's asking for the date, and I'm like, slow down, and baby steps. She said yes. That's a good start. Now we go to planning.
Exactly. So. Take a deep breath, enjoy it.
Yeah. I am old, man.
Get at it. Yeah, old, and he still looks like he could crack. I know it because I was saying to Eric and the guys too. It's one of those things, Dave, where I see a lot of ex-players, and I get it. Like once you start working, it does become a lifestyle. No matter what, if anybody's into CrossFit, whatever they do.
Right.
But man, I heard Steve Young say years ago, it's not, and Dan Marino actually said it too. It's not the whole. It's not about it's not about playing and being able to do things on game day. It's just the grind of practicing the whole season. Because Marino was like, I think he said when it was 48th, 49th birthday, he's like, I can still chuck the ball 65 yards.
Yeah.
Not going through the grind of practice, obviously.
Right. And then, of course, there's the whole genetics thing. So my mom is 6'2", my dad was 6'7", my little brother's 6'9". So
little brother.
Yeah. So I didn't have much of a choice. I figured I'd just go with it.
And I know, obviously, here, and you guys are doing such a great job because, I even go back to this and look at stuff. I always heard Mike Ditka talking about doing more for former players. And, yes, the sport's grown, money has grown. And to pay everything forward, you were allotted, obviously, to play football, and a lot of good things came from under the NFL umbrella.
Right.
But, I know you're non-profit for retired athletes and veterans, helping them get jobs and reestablish.
Yeah.
It's always great to be a part of it, but what does it mean to you to start something like this and be a part of it?
Well, I'll tell you, Michael, how I got involved was I was asked to help somebody that was kind of in that space trying to do something. And a good friend of mine, Brad Leggett, who is the CEO of Pro Players Elite Network, has a database of about 14,000 former players. His dad was Earl Leggett. So, Yep. And so he has been at work, and he's got this great database. And so he put out an email saying, hey, are you having a hard time transitioning? We have a program. We had 90 former players off one email click through to find out more, and we had 16 former players enroll in an introduction to manufacturing course, just trying to find something.
Right.
And so I took the calls, and I allowed 15 minutes a call, saying, here's the program. I'm Dave. Here's the program. We'll see you next week. And like I said, I allowed 15 minutes. Every single call took over an hour. All these guys are, Dave, I'm struggling. One guy has 5 kids, took a job at Amazon Fulfillment just to pay the bills. Another one said, Dave, this is the best call I've had in a year. And I'm thinking, man, I had no idea. I had no idea because there's stuff out there. But unfortunately, not everyone's aware of it, or they can't afford it, or it's a half measure. And so that's why I decided to do this and make a difference. And I thought, gosh, if there's that many former players struggling, what about veterans, and we can help them, and then people that are coming out of incarceration. So we're just going to be there to be a caveat to help people that have any struggle at all with transitioning or want to better their social economic situation.
Right. And when I was talking to the kind doctor, we were talking about veterans, and I said, my grandpa was in the Army for 20 years, World War II in Korea, and he, well after he was out, even when he lived here in Arizona, he would always go and just volunteer at the VA because somebody tried to get him paid. He's like, no, I'm just here to volunteer my time. People that are there, and I know everybody, and this is what I love about programs like yours, because it throws the politics outside of it. Everybody, when they're on TV talking about and I shouldn't pigeonhole, not everybody, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
The politics of it. Doing more for the veterans. They're not asking for a handout. They're just saying, show us where the opportunities are.
Exactly. And to your point is that they don't want to be looked at as a charity case. And that's the point I make coming in, is that this is out of appreciation and respect for what you've done for it. Not that we're trying to, think that you need something, but here's an opportunity. Another great program that does that is MVP. emerging vets and players. And so I've gotten to know Nate Boyer. He's my honorary host for my upcoming charity golf tournament with Anthony Munoz, two pretty good names. You know?
Yeah.
So Nate does some great stuff with MVP, and I've gotten involved with that program, and we actually did a workout in Orange County. I had 4 former players. We had about 20 veterans, and it's an hour workout. Take a little break, and then you sit around the mat and you just dump your stuff. You know, and that's what it's about. There's so much commonality between former NFL players specifically and people that serve in their country.
Yeah, because and we're all guilty of it. Growing up watching football, and you see guys, that have long careers. And I mean, I mentioned obviously some quarterbacks, sort of like Dan Marino. I mean, I remember growing up, obviously, watching Joe Montana. Fast forward to, Tom Brady. I was just retired. The average career we all know, we've heard of 20 is 3.3 years.
Yep.
And and you always hear, especially college coaches talking about education, and even former players talking about education.
Yeah.
But what are you doing after that? And like you said, it's not, because I get annoyed when people say, "Oh, they're just athletes. They got a hand out." I'm like, you understand they regimented their whole life. Like, they know how to put in work.
Right.
Show them. I go, show you the opportunity. What are you gonna do?
Right.
So yeah, I always hate asking, like, what's your favorite story from? I mean, the phone calls, like you say, in 15 minutes, and they're all going an hour.
Yeah.
Good luck sleeping, but it's for a great cause. But
right.
what's maybe some of your favorite memories of work? Either fellow ex-players or veterans that you have. So in the time you've been doing it. Or even if they told you, like, it's just a thank you, you weren't expecting anything.
Yeah, and really, it went down to those phone calls.
Okay.
How appreciative of they were just for somebody that they could tell honestly cared about their situation.
Exactly.
And that's why without, when getting back to that story, I was trying to fix this program which wasn't as presented to me, and then I've already got my NFL brothers, attached to it, and I'm telling Brad, I go, man, you got me involved in this thing, and it's a mess. He goes, well, why are you fixing her mess? Do it yourself. Well, I don't know anything really about that space, and I don't have a nonprofit. And I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. And then at 58 years old, and I hope it makes some encouragement to somebody that's been sitting around thinking they want to do something. I'm too old. I'm 58. I have no experience whatsoever in it. And so I'm a God guy, that.
Right.
Here's how God worked with me. I did this thing. All of a sudden, all these people are coming on board, and then the NFL launches a career transition coach position, and I'm enrolled in that, and they're blessing me with a certification that I can actually learn about all these the trauma and
right.
issues that guys face, and it's perfect with what I'm trying to do with this nonprofit, And so
basically,
right reasons. And
what my good friend Dave is saying is, inventing something is so easy, because when you walk into it no, it's not. I'm just kidding.
No,
but I'm just saying the steps you took, it just seemed like it's not even like the dominoes went that slow. They just went 100 miles an hour, and you hit the ground. Not even forget running, sprinting, which is awesome. Yeah. And I know you guys are all under the Pro Speak umbrella, and Doc said you started it out as just kind of a motivational speaking thing, because people need and I've heard people there's always going to be cynics, but motivational speakers, like, what? Sometimes if you just close your eyes, take a deep breath, and listen to somebody else saying it.
Yes.
But not even saying it, like you said, you're living it, and living it helps so much. I mean, so even being involved in Pro Speak, how rewarding has that been to you?
Well, it's been fantastic. So Pro Speak they set us up. We went to speak to a high school yesterday morning, about 200 young men, athletes, and after I got done with that, 3 or 4 of them hit me up on Instagram, thanking us to be there. I had a mom hit me up on LinkedIn because her son sent the picture, and she said, as a mom, thank you for spending time with my son.
Absolutely.
So that's what Dr. Brian has done for us, is giving us that exposure. He introduced me to Darren Gray and the Athletes in Action. And that's so. Getting back to I alluded to, I got engaged. So I last year was asked to speak through Pro Speak to Athletes in Action. Shared my testimony. I've never shared it in front of my peers before. Wow. Always people that are in need or have made dumb mistakes like I had made, but never to my peers. And I was really apprehensive because not only that, my girlfriend was there, and she had never heard that story. So I get up there, I tell it, and man, she greeted me with, "You did a great job. I'm so proud of you." And then Sean Alexander, one of the greatest Seahawks of all time, came up and thanked me. And so I had cats thanking me. I'm like, this is what I need to be doing. So last night, I was asked to do it again with Athletes in Action and Heart of a Champion. Shared my testimony and shared how, it continues to get better. And this wonderful woman in my life, and got down on one knee, not gracefully as I could, and she said yes. And it was a great moment.
That's awesome.
Yep.
No, and okay, so again, all of it is awesome, and I just again, like I said, athletes, vets, like you said, people that were incarcerated that deserve a second chance.
Yep.
Absolutely awesome. All right, but I got to ask you the most tired question on Radio Row, the game.
Sure.
The big game, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. You know what? The different thing I've been asking, what is to you the one key for each team, and then who do you got?
Well, so the key to me is pretty simple. Everyone's touting that the Chiefs have the number 8 ranked rushing defense. But who have they played? Chargers can't rush. Raiders can't rush. Denver can't rush. Not like the Eagles rush. And that's what I think the big difference is going to be up front in the running game of the Eagles, and then they're going to get after Mahomes, who's a little hobbled. I'd like it to be a good game. I just see it maybe as being I think the Eagles are just going to handle it the whole time.
Well, I have it as
it's an upfront thing, you know. It's an upfront
absolutely.
thing, and I know the Chiefs are pretty good up front, but I just.
I say this to Eric 50. You could ask Eric what we like. I always get frustrated when people say, "Oh, the game's changed this and that." Oh, pass. And coaches and players, coaches always have their coach speak, but they say if we can't run the ball and we can't stop the run, we're not winning.
Right.
Even though it's all passing, that's all everybody allegedly cares about. But no. Like I said, I do hope it's a good game. Obviously, Phoenix put on a heck of an event. But Oh, real quick. So where can we go? Where can people go to find out what you're doing?
Hey, my nonprofit is www.thefirstandgoalproject.com, and it's the number 1 ST and goalproject.com. And there'll be information about my upcoming charity and veteran celebrity and veterans golf invitational, as well as what we're doing within the nonprofit.
All right, you heard it right here, Dave. Thank you so much.
All right,
again,
brother.
former Seahawk, and they should have won that second Super Bowl here. That's all I'm going to say.
Indeed,
they should have won it.
Yeah.
I wanted them to win it. We'll have more coming up here on the Sports Arena from Radio Row.